Welcome to a short excerpt from Small Business School, the series on PBS stations and the web.
Hi, I'm Hattie Bryant. What you're about to see consists of excerpted footage from Small Business School, our television series that highlights the outstanding accomplishments of small business people around the United States. Today, we will introduce you to a company that shows the marketing concept in action. You'll meet the men who are building a chain of surfer food joints, Wahoo's Fish Taco. To get a different perspective, you may want to review the video after you learn about consumer decision-making, segmenting markets, retailing, and public relations. Wahoo's Fish Taco first came to our attention because they've won lots of awards. Their return on investment per square foot is off the charts, and they tirelessly give to their community. They are part of the boarding tribe, and this story begins because in 1988, three brothers, newcomers to the USA, agreed there was no place for surfers to meet and eat like the places they loved in Baja.
Wing Lam, Ed Lee, and Mingo Lee don't look like entrepreneurs, but they are. Their operation, Wahoo's Fish Taco, today has 330 employees in 22 stores, 20 in Southern California and 2 in Denver, generating over $1 million in revenue per location with the home office in Santa Ana.
Be just a couple minutes.
Their initial idea was to start a simple business they could run and make a living while surfing between ships. They targeted their own boarding tribe, surfers, snowboarders, skateboarders, and have expanded to all extreme sports enthusiasts. It worked.
How did you come up with what you serve today? Did the three of you talk about what you like to eat, argue, discuss, create in your own kitchens, try things? How did the recipes come to what they are today?
We actually just talked about it, never did anything other than, hey, we like this kind of, from all of our parties and all of our friends outing and the restaurants we liked. And literally the day before we opened, I actually sat in the kitchen, wrote things down, and tried a couple of things that says, we're opening tomorrow. When you cook all your life, you just know what goes with what. And the next day was the very first batch of beans I've ever made, the very first batch of rice I've ever made, the very first fish we've ever made. And after lunch, we looked at each other and goes, hey, that was okay.
And people bought it?
People bought it. And they kept coming back and coming back.
Wahoo's serves clean food piled high and priced low. Its target, the 18 to 24-year-old male, is the biggest consumer of commercially prepared food in the U.S., according to the National Restaurant Association. They eat out 5.9 times per week.
Love Wahoo's, definitely.
It's embarrassing how much we come here, actually.
Food is food, and it's not rocket science as much as I'd like to think it is. But it was for us to package an experience. You know, you come to Wahoo, sure the food's going to be good. We felt confident in our menu, but we wanted people to walk in and actually experience something. So what we wanted that to be is sort of a getaway to where our favorite spots were down in Baja.
Place to go hang out and get great food.
Great hangout place. It's a surf restaurant. Simple, but a lot of food. It's healthy, good food. You could eat it every meal.
Laguna is a small community.
Ed took me to one of his favorite locations overlooking the Pacific Ocean on a busy street in Laguna Beach.
This is old, and this is the feel we want to bring into our new stores. It's that beach feel, old feel. I mean, you're trying to bring an upscale dive, but this is the feel we're trying to get into a shopping center. It's difficult, I mean, but we try to make a new building look old.
Here's Wing doing his thing. He gives tons of food away at events such as this. The U.S. Open of Surfing in Huntington Beach, held every year just spitting distance from a Wahoo's. Wahoo's customers, the boarding tribe, flock to this where we see young men compete. And the legends of surfing gather.
How did you then move out to create this, what I would call this wonderful marketing machine that you have around this culture of surfing and snowboarding and skateboarding?
when they opened the very first rock climbing gym in Costa Mesa, I was there with those guys, say, hey, we need to do a really cool event here to promote your business, and I'm willing to help you. They looked at me and goes, really? I goes, yeah, I have nothing to do with rock climbing other than once in a while I like to come and play. But I says, I'd be willing to come out here once a year and help you promote your business. And thus promoting their business, we accidentally benefited because all the rock climbers goes, hey, this guy's okay. He's one of us.
And what you do is you say, if we do this event, I'll bring the food? I mean...
Pretty much. I goes, I'm willing to give you a day of my life to help you guys promote your business. And as they grow, I grow. You don't do it because you want something. You do it because you can make a difference.
Okay. But the small business owner is looking at this saying, but where am I going to get the time? Where am I going to get the money? Where am I going to get the product to give away to this cause?
The alternative side would be to try to go out and market your company, which is a lot more expensive. If you go out there and sample your product, is the cheapest way, because once they taste it, they see it, they smell it, they touch it, and they connect it to you. Everybody wants to support a local businessman as opposed to a big corporate entity that they're not attached to. So as they see you being a part of the community, they want to interact with you. They want to support you back because you're supporting the community. So the giving comes back tenfold.
I said, you know, Wing can't tie his shoes. He can't barely get his hair combed out or anything. He's disorganized, but he's a great marketing man. The one thing that he does better than anyone alive.
Mingo and Wing, everybody says you're the operations guy. What are some of the big chunks of the big ideas that people need to understand that have to be put in place to grow?
Right. Well, the first step was to look at what made it successful when I came into it. What made it successful was the ownership and the way they treated their customer. The other one was the standardization of everything that happens in the restaurant, from the recipe, from the spice, measures to the temperatures and so forth. I mean, the whole process, the product you're bringing in, your raw material, your style of service, and most of all the training program, and that was something we worked very hard at. We constantly go back and tell people that, well, you need to really take the temperature or taste it, not just look at it. The specificity. Well, we have a line check, for example, for the kitchen. The cooks need to do a taste test, a temperature test, a visual test, a tactile test. You got to look at the product in every aspect. The backups, do we have enough product, and it needs to be taught.
So we have a manual for almost every part of the business. And usually we've not only used ourselves as examples, we've used employees that have been with us for almost 10 years to actually help us with almost every question and answer that a customer may have or anything that may be part of the operation of the day-to-day.
We have what we call the 10-second rule at Wahoo's.
10 seconds?
10 seconds.
Okay.
10 seconds is the maximum amount of time a plate of food will wait in the pass-through. 10 seconds is the maximum amount of time a customer will stand in front of your register before somebody approaches them. 10 seconds is the maximum amount of time that the cook will look at a ticket that comes into the line and know exactly what needs to happen. So, and we would train everybody that way. Say, okay, everybody quiet for 10 seconds. And people realize that 10 seconds is a lifetime. Right?
That's it.
A lot of times the simple fact that you have the wrong metric in your business can kill you. You're looking at the wrong thing.
Give me an example.
An example is that I have colleagues in the business that go into the restaurants, and the first thing they say, did you meet your sales quota today? And the first thing I say to my district manager, I don't want to ever hear you talk about sales quota to your managers. The first thing I want you to do is go in and say, did you learn 2 customers' names today? I said, don't ever worry about sales. I keep saying that over and over again. Well, Steve, we have some, don't worry about your quota. Can you do A, B, C, D, E, F, G? H will be magical. It will automatically appear out of thin air. And people demonstrate that. Once they get the idea, they're focused. And that's what a lot of businesses do. They're not focused enough on the things that make them exist. What makes me exist is knowing the customer what they like to eat and cleaning the restrooms.
Steak, pork, veggie, chicken.
You know what happens to me as a customer coming in here? I feel like, you know, the way everyone's dressed very casually, and everybody's smiling, and this is like my fourth one to be in. It almost seems like there's no organization at all. Do you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. It seems kind of like chaotic. You know, it's chaos.
But it's not, is it?
Not at all. It's a very, very strictly run business. Everyone knows what they're doing.
It's delicious, it's healthy, it's noisy, it's friendly, it's chaos. Each location feels like one of a kind. It feels like the people in charge are just doing this for the fun of it. Customers and staff blend in some sort of free-form dance. It's a nimble place. The tables are very close together, which sends the nonverbal signal that if you come to Wahoo's, you're one of us, the boarding tribe. It may look like chaos, but I knew what I was seeing was a fine-tuned program of service and carefully crafted systems that allow the people who run Wahoo's stores to have fun while delivering excellent food quickly with smiles on their faces. Usually chaos cannot be duplicated, but these guys are doing it. The irony is they build the look of chaos into their systems. And to succeed, Wahoo's must capture this at every new location. Its cultivated customer doesn't want pristine, predictable chain food. They want Baja. There's much more on television and on the web at smallbusinessschool.org.